Let me know if you can identify with this. You feel like you look pretty fit, especially without a shirt. But the moment you put a shirt on, you feel small. That's where I was at for a better part of 10 years. What I realized is that I wasn't eating enough. And actually, I wasn't pushing myself hard enough at the gym. During lockdown, what I ended up doing, I bought a squat rack and some weights. And I set that up in my garage. What that enabled me to do is to really hone in and really focus on fitness. And on top of that, I started eating 3,200 calories, I believe, 3,250. I was around 150, 155. And I would eat like crazy. I mean, you need to stuff yourself. Like if you are skinny fat and you just cannot gain weight, you cannot gain muscle, you gotta eat. Like I remember I would eat like 1,000 calories for every meal. I basically meal prep my breakfast, my lunch, my dinner, and I try to make it as high calorie as possible. So you really just have to find hacks and cheats in your meals in order to make them high protein, high calorie. You need at least 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So for me at the time, that was 150. I think I ate more. I think I did like 175 or something. Creatine every day, 5 grams, 3,200 calories. I worked out 6 days a week, push-pull legs, push-pull legs. I didn't do any cardio, I don't think. To bulk, it's not really necessary, right? That's more so for the cut. So I ended up reaching about like 188, 190. At that point, after my bulk, I knew that underneath like the fat that I had put on, there was like a decent amount of muscle. So I ended up cutting and I reached like 12% body fat. And I don't remember what I weighed. I think I was like 175 or so. But what that enabled is that now I have a new baseline weight. My baseline weight is no longer like skinny fat, 150. Now, my new baseline weight is like 170. Like no matter what I do, I can't go below 170. Moving here for a couple months, I didn't really track. I didn't really go to the gym. I still kept taking creatine. That's really important especially when you're not working out and stuff and you want to try to maintain muscle. So I kept taking creatine and I basically did nothing else. I just ate like normally and I didn't get below 170. Like I never got below 170. That's sort of how I stay relatively fit year round. My body fat percentage is like not particularly low right now, but I'm able to maintain this new baseline weight because I sacrificed and did a really heavy bulk. You just need to do it once. It takes one really crazy bulk. And of course, consult your doctor, do everything safely, right? I'm not recommending you go off the walls and do something that's not safe or healthy for you. I'm not recommending to eat like the most unhealthy food, especially if you have a condition or anything. Definitely be careful with all that. Just like if you're trying to lose weight, the only solution is to eat less, right? The only solution if you're trying to gain muscle, gain weight, is to eat more. I mean, you have to eat more than you think. You should feel like you don't want to eat more, like you're forcing yourself to eat more, basically. I'm just being 100% honest about it. If you're really trying to bulk, you should feel like, oh man, I don't want to eat more, like I'm so full. But if you're not hitting your calories, then you're not gonna gain weight. And there are tricks to it, right? Like if you eat foods that are high calorie, but they're not super dense, then it won't really affect you that much. Whereas if you eat really calorie dense foods, it's gonna be hard to hit your high calories because you're gonna get full too soon. So I recommend going like eating anabolically, like eating high protein foods that are high in calories, but not super unhealthy. You want healthy fats and you want, like a lot of protein, carbs, all the things. And really the main thing is like calories and protein, right? You need to hit those every day. And you need to find what works for you in order to get that. And if you do it consistently enough, you will eventually reach your goal. You just have to be really consistent tracking. That's the other thing. Find an app that you like, log your calories, save your meals, meal prep, makes it easier to add the meal every day, day after day, makes it easier to do that, right? So figure out a system that works for you. Get to the gym. Find a gym close by, or if you have the luxury, if you have the space to be able to just get like a rack and a barbell, and some weights, you can do 90% of the exercise you would need to do, and you're going to be way more consistent because you're going to be able to do it at home. That's what I did, at least. Do what works for you is what I recommend. Yeah, because the truth is, if you really want to bulk, it's going to be uncomfortable. It is. If you really want to do an effective bulk, then you're going to be full at times where you need to eat more. You're not going to be comfortable all the time. It's going to be hard. Like, cutting is hard too, right? They're both hard in like the opposite way. When you're cutting, you're constantly hungry. You always want to eat more, but you can't. When you're bulking, you're always full, but you have to eat more and you don't want to, right? So these things are hard. This is the reality of the situation, but it's totally doable. I believe in you. I went from 150 to 190 in the span of a year or so, and I was able to reach 12% body fat with subsequent cut after that, pretty easily, while still being above the weight that I was prior to that cycle. So it's all about the cycles. You got to just stick to it, and just over time you will see results. As long as you are consistent and you're tracking it, you will see results. So that's what I want to talk about. Yeah, that's it for this video. Let me know if that helps. Let me know if you have any questions down in the comments. I look at every comment. I try to respond to as many as I can. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.